Now this is the real reason that I wanted to do another video of artifact insight on this recent Christie's auction, because this one is like one of the most beautiful jewelry pieces I've ever seen. This is an ancient Egyptian carnelian and gold multi-strand bead necklace with matching earrings. And this piece dates from the New Kingdom, approximately 1550 to about 1070 BCE. Carnelian is one of the most popular stones that the ancient Egyptians used, and it's going to be all of these little individual red beads as well as these little dangly pieces here. And each one of these beads here is actually depicting a poppy bud. And you also can see that there are tiny gold versions of the same thing in the middle row. Now, this is a very beautiful example of very high quality and expensive necklace, but there is a catch. The lot essay is a little unclear, but it does say that this piece was restrung to form a multi-strand collar with modern yellow beads and a modern clasp, which means that I'm assuming this entire area is completely new and not ancient. And the matching earrings themselves, I'm going to assume that the gold portions are completely recreated from the beads. And to be honest, they don't even really look ancient. And if they semi-look it, they don't really look Egyptian. They actually have a lot of more Mesopotamia aspects than I've seen, especially the earrings. The clasp itself looks very similar to some bracelets of ancient Egyptians that I've seen, but it doesn't really fit with everything. It also is pretty obvious when you look at the back here, and you can see that the backs are like kind of completely unfinished and that the earrings are clip-ons. That definitely means that they are pretty modern. And in the lot essay, it also says that the back of the necklace is signed with initials, and ancient Egyptian artists don't do that. So that is obvious that that part is completely recreated, and who knows kind of where they got that design aspect from. And I know I've mentioned this before, but if you ever see a necklace like this at a museum that is laid out and restrung, the likelihood that it was actually discovered this way and was not essentially recreated by curators is really, really low. Unless it has been properly excavated by usually modern archaeologists who can kind of determine where each individual bead was found, the vast majority of these necklaces are guesswork at best. They are kind of just putting them together in what the curator thinks is probably a nice pattern. There is like a high likelihood that this could have been multiple necklaces, that all the beads were kind of just found together, and who knows, maybe all the poppy seeds were all on one long strand and all of the gold was on one long strand. Like, we don't unfortunately know because this was probably not actually excavated. I will say, though, the provenance of this particular piece is very, very interesting. The only information that was listed was that this piece was originally owned by the Prince and Princess of Sadruddin Aga Khan, who was, yes, an Iranian prince and diplomat. He acquired this in 1972, which also supports that this piece was probably not excavated properly by an archaeologist, because that's a little bit too late for a lot of these pieces to kind of naturally be leaving an actual proper excavation rather than it being on the art market for many, many years. Now, this piece was estimated to go from between 5,000 to 7,000 British pounds, which I find is very low in comparison to some of the other things and how they've been priced. But it does make sense. This piece actually sold for 13,860 pounds. I mean, to be honest, I kind of see that as a bargain.